going on, everybody? Welcome to it's been a little while. Super Bowl preview. This is NFL weekly review. Got Rob Riley, Justin Walters, Wilson Tarpe Jr. And again, divisional round with some So hopefully the Super Bowl's a little better. Lots of teams do some with their opportunities. So we're here now. The Chiefs look like the Chiefs. They got the crazy pumping up the Bills, and I'm sure some of you Bills fans are like, we're almost there. There's levels. It's still a Grand Canyon between you guys and them. It's not getting any closer, but it was cute while it lasted. It was fun. And I'd hate to be a fan of a team who's coached in a situation like that have you play with all the house money that decided that he wanted to save for a rainy day. Couldn't be me. Mind my business. Y'all deal with that. Have fun. All that fourth down y'all spent the regular season going for got to the only time that you should be going for all fourth downs against a team like that, and y'all were like, let's kick field goals.
Right.
Because that's how you beat the Chiefs. Yes, y'all didn't watch the Super Bowl last year.
Or any game for that matter.
You don't beat them by threes.
Right. They don't play fair. They score touchdowns, don't kick field goals. We talked about that. It's like with Golden State back, when Golden State first came around with Steph and Clay, they play by threes. They don't play by twos. It's the same thing with Kansas City. They don't kick field goals. They get in
the They not even the version of the Warriors with Harrison Barnes. They're the KD version. Y'all better stop.
That's not a Harrison Barnes like it's true.
It is for me, as always. I haven't changed. You know what you did. Messing up history and stuff. But yeah, so the Chiefs, the Bucks. All right, Justin, we'll let you start off, man. Your initial thoughts on this one.
On the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, unless you wanted to talk about that last round, that was
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm a pretty negative person, but I just can't picture the Chiefs losing ever. Like, I've been like picking against them, like, the defense and Mahomes and this and that, and they play around too much. But when they want to play, you can't stop them. You know what I mean? It's just when he's like as good as like everyone hypes up every play, like, yo, this guy's the next. Mahomes is that. Like he's serious. He is that offense. It's not Reed makes Mahomes. It's Mahomes or Mahomes. It's a perfect fit. But some of the throws he makes going backwards and just the stuff he does, whether it's it's no fear, it's the confidence, it's he's just that guy, man. He occasional bad decision, but he seems to get through it. Just when they need points or they want points, they got him. You know what I mean? So down 9, that 21-0 run is coming. Like it's like you said, them field goals, you just really can't feel like you were stopping. Like you get 2 stops, it's because they stopped themselves. You know what I mean? If you have the Tyreek Hill drop, that could have been 7 there. And now that game might have been got out of hand early. But it's just they're that good, man. I'm always quick to say, the way you want to stop them is just hope, I guess. I mean, but this is a tough one. I'm not where this could get kind of interesting is, I mean, they're missing the whole offensive line, and the Bucks have a good defensive line. So it'd be a slap in the face to say that those 4 guys that is a good defensive line. You know what I mean? Pierre Paul's playing really well, and whoever the other 3 guys, Barrett and Vita Vea's back. I mean, and the other guy, is it Sue? But whatever, their front 4 is legit, mixed with 5 guys who are new. That could make it tough. I mean, you're asking Mahomes to just basically take a snap and have 4 guys running at him. I don't think anybody's that. It's gonna make it interesting. And if Brady and the offense get going, it could be a game. It could be interesting. I just can't pick against Kansas City. That's just where I'm at right now. We'll start again next year, and I'll start to try to figure out who could beat them. But at the moment, I'm just not there.
Rob?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Kansas City in this one. I think it'd be a fun game to watch. Let me backtrack real quick. I gotta apologize to Tampa Bay because I was a little down on them and all the weapons that they had, and I think we always kind of said in like they got too much going on, but they found a way to utilize all those weapons. And I saw it last week against Green Bay or the week before. And the reason why I say it is because I saw Aaron Rodgers forcing that ball to Devontae Adams several times. And he had guys running wide open and he wasn't even trying to look at them. Tom Brady figured out a way, okay, I got all these guys here. Mike Evans got his off early. All right, let me go find Godwin. I got Brady background. I got Fournette. And they did utilize the weapons more. So I'm apologizing because I didn't think they was going to be able to figure out how to use everybody. And they did. They figured it out when it mattered. Wilson, stop making the faces, man. Just wait. Your turn is coming, man. Just relax. This is me saying, okay, I'll give y'all that. That's fine. Don't think that that's going to matter against the Chiefs, though. It just doesn't. The Chiefs just they're a different team, man. They're on a different level. You know, we can talk about the defense all we want, but they find ways to make things happen in the games that matter. We've seen it for the last couple of years. Pat Mahomes, he's going to do what he does. That offensive line, yeah, it's a little shaky, but Andy Reid makes adjustments too. So, I mean, I think they'll figure it out. You got EB, you know, offensive coordinator is going to make adjustments to what he has. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows, all right, we got this guy out. So we're going to be a little weak here, maneuver some things here. They're going to figure it out, man. I think it'll be a closer game than what most people are probably thinking as far as a blowout because of Tampa Bay's defense. But it's definitely going to be an entertaining game to watch. So, but I'm going with Kansas City. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead, man. I don't know what you want to say.
No, we good, man. I was just laughing at the whole trying to give people credit for beating a team that crumbles every year on schedule at the same time, no matter what's going on. So I'm not about to pat somebody on the back when they gave you the ball 3 times and you find a way to lose it. So I'm not going to give you credit for that. I dare you to do that tomorrow. I triple dog dare you to do that tomorrow. And you tell me what happens when you give that little boy the ball 3 times for just cuts.
I feel you. I was just speaking on
the
weapon part of it. That's it, man.
No.
I know you don't care, but it wasn't even for you.
No. No. You had children back there on that defense. No. I'm trying to figure out why you was playing 500 against that defense. Man. How? What the heck were they doing? They got one cover guy. How do you throw 3 picks?
Well, one of them, he had his eyes closed and he just threw it up praying everybody don't catch it.
Okay. But, all right, cool. But, like, that's my thing, right? So they got one guy that kind of like, and I'm not saying the dudes on Kansas City are like Jair Alexander. I hope people don't that. I'm not saying that. But they got a whole bunch of dudes that love press coverage, that love man coverage, that will disrupt your wideouts. They don't care who it is. They putting a big hand on them, and they're fine with that. And if you threw 3 picks because one dude in the secondary was putting a big hand on somebody, boy, no, I don't have faith. I don't care what stories are being written. Tampa Bay, I would be so pleasantly surprised if this is competitive and or fun tomorrow. I think you about to get dog walked.
Really? Wow.
I think it's about to be bad. Like, you got a team in the NFC that's not that good. They beat a couple not that good teams to get out the NFC. I'm not a fan of how strong the NFC representative is this year because I saw firsthand what a strong representative looked like, and they messed up the money. This ain't even that. You know, everybody talk about Tampa Bay defense or whatever, man. It's cute. It's cute. Do I got faith that y'all about to go bother patting them? I don't care who's not blocking. And JPP, I get that or whatever. A lot of even some of their pressures, it comes when they send extras. You about to send extra against Pat with Ty and them back there? Because if you just let that front 4, man, please. I don't care who blocking for him. Please. Like I feel like we're doing this thing where it's like, because it sounds like a great story. Bruh, 50. I've maintained it. That's how I felt for 2 weeks. 50.
I ain't got to do with the story. I don't care about the story.
I'm not saying you
because it's gonna be adjustments made. I don't think Tampa Bay can get blown out like that. I just don't see it happening.
I get that, and that's great. And there's been times where people didn't think that before in the Super Bowl. Dog walks.
Yeah.
People thought, oh man, I'll pull one out. San Francisco and Cincinnati, 2 high-powered 50. Oh, look at it. They're on the same level. 49. 49 for the 40. What are we doing? Nah, man. Like, this offense is different. And no disrespect. Like, again, the Tampa Bay defense, I don't think they have the requisite team speed to bother them. I just don't think they do. And I think that's something that's completely and utterly overlooked during the discussion about Tampa Bay's defense. If Green Bay's offense bothers you a little bit, with a little bit of speed, they're a little bit of speed. Yeah. They got play speed compared to that speed. Man, yeah, I don't know, man.
I think they're going to hang around a little bit, but just because that's just the way it is. There hasn't been a blowout in the Super Bowl in a while, so I think just Tampa Bay's they're not terrible. Like, they're going to hang around. And again, I think the 5 linemen, even if we're saying the 5 linemen ain't gonna matter, like, you can't not have a left tackle. Like, these dudes, they got dudes off the street. Yeah. These ain't, you know what I mean? Like, these ain't like a guy who's been, we had him for the playoff run. Like, they lost their left tackle at the end of last week's game when they already had practice squad guys playing. So, I mean, Mahomes ain't Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? But to get away, I mean, he's going to make it work. But you're going to have some series where somebody's going to get beat, and now it's 2nd and 16 or something, just different stuff like that. And they're the one team that 3rd and 15 means nothing. 3rd and 25 means nothing. Like, that, they're that team. So, I mean, it's going to be a couple make or break. Like we always talk about, okay, can you get off the field on 3rd and 10? Can you get a stop here? And that's where the matchups come in. And where it can get ugly is if Tampa, it sounds stupid, if Tampa tries to stop them. Like, if you game planning, you know what, we're going to blitz, or we're going to do that. Like, just play football and, hey, 10. Hey, they're at the goal line. Maybe Pat gets impatient. Like, play that way. Don't try to take that fast death. Because they tried that last time when Tyreek Hill had 200 yards in the first quarter. Yeah. So, I mean, I think don't overthink it. You know, and again, where it can get ugly is you come out and you play that way. And we've seen Tom. We've seen Tom, the Tom that had the great comebacks, but then there's that Tom that was throwing that ball straight up in the air. Because that was one of those runs. Green Bay had a chance to go on one of those Kansas City runs, but Kansas City puts those turnovers in the end zone. Yep. And now they would have won that game by 14, 20. You know what I mean? So I think those interceptions were scary. I don't care what anybody said. Oh, Brady, they pulled off. Those interceptions were scary. Like, you don't just throw the ball straight. Like, that's some stuff if Mitch did it, you'd be like, yo, see, that's what I'm talking about. But right. You got the Hall of Fame guy who's supposed to be the Chiefs. You're up, and you decide, you just pressure. I'm gonna just put it up. Like, not even near anybody.
Yeah.
So I think that was scary to me. And the one thing Kansas City has is I kept thinking of, like, the 40 minutes of hell Arkansas team back in the day. Like, they're just coming at you because we know, hey, you know what? You score, we just get the ball back and we're gonna go score. So it allows them to play more aggressive with their no-name corners and different random guys. We'll send 11 guys and our 10 guys, and Honey Badgers are gonna sit in the one spot you always throw the ball, and maybe you throw it to him or you get a touchdown. But if not, they got dudes basket hanging. We ready to go score again. Like, that's the way they're playing. Either you're gonna turn it over or you're gonna give it back to us because you can't stop us. So I think that's where, you know what, Tampa has to find a way to, okay, move the ball, keep them off the field, then attack and finish drives with touchdowns. So I think there's a mix there.
I'm Justin. I'm with you, man. Like, Wilson, I trust me, man. I get what you're saying. I'm trying not to laugh at you right now because
he's like,
I know what you're thinking. Right, I know exactly what you're thinking, and trust me, I get it. But I just can't. I can't look at that team and go, they about to get blown out. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. Not in this game. Not with the things they're facing with the offensive line. I hate you so much right now. But I think adjustments will be made. And that's the kicker right there, man. They're going to make adjustments. And, well, let me say this. They should make adjustments. Play the game that you've been playing all year long defensively with Tampa Bay and make the adjustments as needed. Don't go in there, like you said, change your whole game plan. You got these guys blitzing. Because once you do that, you're going to throw everything off and Kansas City's going to blow the doors wide open. And once they get that lead like that, you're not scoring to catch up with them. Tom Brady got to play better than what he did last week. That's for damn sure. He threw 2 picks that were terrible. One of them, I think, bounced off. That third one, it bounced off of Mike Evans' hands. And as a coach, I'm looking at, and man, you touch it, you catch it. Period. You know that. That's how I go. Was the ball high? Sure. Was it all low off target? Sure.
Hey, it's the playoffs.
You showed me that you can actually get that ball because you had a chance to catch the ball. You gotta be able to catch that joint, man. I get it. And everything ain't gonna be. It's not gonna be perfect, but that's why you had those receivers to make those plays. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless, he still got to play better than what he did. You can't had to make a wish foundation throw that you did and just say like Evans is gonna go get it. like he's supposed to be reading your mind like this is gonna be short. Good luck. That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna get it, man. Especially with guys like Honey Badger back there waiting. He back there licking his chops, waiting to get something off Brady right now. You know, so I think the game is gonna be a little bit more interesting than what my man Wilson is thinking right now.
That's great. So I got a question for you guys with this this credit that we're giving to Tampa Bay. What's the one thing all year that they've done consistently where you guys can find a way to have this magic faith that they're going to consistently stick to a game plan they've yet to do for, what's this, 18, 19 weeks now? Again, I'm just asking questions. Go on.
Well, us saying they're going to hang around isn't like I could see them getting blown out just as easily.
Yeah.
But saying that, like, if you put the rosters next to each other, you could argue that besides the positions that matter, Tampa is better than in a lot of those spots, except for, I don't even know, like, Tampa's loaded, but they don't use those weapons that way. Like,
yeah,
that's the hard part is when I go there because even before Wilson even asked that question and Rob was talking, I didn't want to cut him off. I was like, dang, like, what are we saying is going to be Tampa's go-to? Like, you know, they don't get Ronald Jones is good, but they don't feed him. They just are determined to throw the ball to Leonard Fournette. And then I don't know the right way to say it, but the white wide receiver, like, they have to give him the ball. Like, but Mike Evans and Godwin are just extras. Like, they're his backup singers. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me is how you have all this. And like Wilson said, we're in week 19, and the game plan is we don't know. What's your identity? Well, you know, Tom's going to put a drive together, and reality is all their stuff comes off of turnovers. Every game we've seen them where they played well, it was triggered by a turnover. You know what I mean? And you're playing a team. Maybe they, you know, maybe you get a strip sack. I just see them hanging around. I don't see a blowout. I don't whether it's the refs, whether it's some. I just think they're going to be in the game. I'm not. You know, they're going to be within 14 just because that's the way football is for some reason. But again,
that's what I'm saying. They're not going to win. I don't see them winning. But I don't see a blowout. Guess what, Will? If it's going to be a blowout, all right, show's over. Everybody go home.
I anticipate that tomorrow. Like,
I know you've already voiced that.
I'm steadfast on that, and if I'm wrong, so be it. Tampa Bay, your little fans, y'all could come say something. I don't care. Like, again, what Jesse just said, this is why I have no faith. With all them weapons y'all got, y'all don't know what to do with none of them things.
No game plan, yeah.
And that's what bothers me. You going into a gunfight, and y'all are pushing guns off the table by choice. Like, here's Mike Evans. Sometimes Scotty Miller. Yes, Scotty Miller. Here's Chris Godwin and all the stuff he can do vertically. I want to keep him right here closest to me for safekeeping.
Right.
It's the Chiefs. If you don't threaten them vertically or run the hell out the ball, right, you're in trouble. And I'm going to throw out another name real quick because I know everybody talk about Honey Badger real quick. One of my dark horses of Super Bowl MVP is Juan Thornhill. He did not play in last year's Super Bowl. So this is why there's some different things that Kansas City's been able to do defensively this year versus last year. Thornhill didn't play during that run because he was hurt.
Right.
He's the guy, if you guys watched, I know everybody watched the Bills game. You want to know why Diggs was upset and other people were upset? Because technically, Josh Allen gets the ball. You look pre-snap. You like Honey Badger. He up in the box. Everything's love. I should be able to throw deep. Yada yada. That boy got everything on lock, single high. Not worried about anything at all. So again, you already got somebody who don't like throwing vertically. They're about to sit on everything. Like the way you're going to have to go big to beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
Y'all don't like going big. So I don't understand how all of a sudden you treat Mike Evans like a tight end. You turn Chris Godwin into a glorified possession wide receiver. And now we're going into a match with a 4x1 relay team who might be having Sammy Watkins back, might have their anchor back. And I'm supposed to believe in possession. Like Justin brought up Ronald Jones. My man got 20. They played one more game in the Chiefs in the postseason so far. He has 23 carries. So I'm supposed to sit here and honestly, in my heart of heart, believe that Leonard Fournette's about to really do damage against the Chiefs front seven.
Or that they'll even commit to it. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. That's if they commit. Because going back to last Super Bowl, not as able to run the ball. Raheem Mostert and Leonard Fournette do not move at the same frequency.
No, not at all. Not
right? And again, I'm not being mean. That's
the fact. It's just
because to threaten them defensively, you have to have things.
Yeah.
And you don't utilize the things that you have correctly. And Spags is about to send the crib. And my worry is, and I hope I'm wrong, I would love for it to be a nice, fun, competitive Super Bowl. What I feel is going to happen is they're going to give up on running the ball early because the box is going to be loaded. The Chiefs have no issue doing it. They would just load the box to keep it moving. It'd be like throw. And they're going to ask time to throw outside the hashes, which hasn't gone super well this year, outside of shot plays in situations where, someone won by a good margin. You're going to be throwing into the teeth of that defense. And the other, what's it called? Gronk had 2 catches last week?
I think so.
Or a catch last week, something like that. So if you're not utilizing the middle of the field like that, man, I'm just worried.
1 catch for 29 yards last week.
And I think that was late. Like, I'm legitimately worried. How are you about to threaten the Chiefs?
So what's crazy about that, because after you said, I'm sitting here thinking about that game last week. They went to Evans early, and then they stopped going to him.
That's all up.
That's when they put Alexander on him. Yeah.
So they went to him early, and he was killing. He was eating, scored. Then they stopped going to him. Then, like you said, Chris Godwin, 5 catches, 110 yards. But that's not your number one target is Mike Evans. Let's not be stupid. That is your number one guy. It's very rare that you can find a corner that can actually guard him like that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, if you're gonna beat them, you got to go big. And going big is going with Mike Evans on those go routes sometimes. But they don't pull that trigger enough. But maybe they saw something on film. Maybe they see what we're seeing. They're going, hey, we got to stick to A, B, and C. Those are the 3 go-tos that we have to go. I mean, maybe they did. I'm not saying they did, but I'm not going to say that they're not looking at that because I want it to be a competitive game. So maybe I'm speaking it into existence that it will be.
That's what I feel. That's what I feel like is happening. And I'm not knocking you for it. I feel like a lot of people are doing this, right?
Yeah.
No. All right. So, look, after 2 postseason games, again, just to talk about how physical the freaking Chiefs secondary is. They're leading tacklers, corner, safety, linebacker, safety. These are solos. 12, 11. Travarius Ward, 12 solo tackles in 2 games. Honey Badger, 11. Bashar Breeland, 12. Sorensen, 9. L'Jarius Sneed, 7.
But
and
a majority of that comes from they take your running game out. Not take it away by, not even by lining up, just between the combination of stacking the line and the way they score. Because I mean, think about of all teams, you would think Cleveland would have tried to run more,
and they gave up on it.
And Cleveland gave up on the run, and that's their. They got 2. That's the majority of their offense. So to think about is the tackles are coming to secondary because that's where the plays are. I mean, that's where the ball is. So I think if anyone's going to say Tampa's going to be in it, you have to say Tampa's going to get some stops because I'm more confident that, not even confident. There's more chance of them getting, like I said, a breakdown in pass protection with the new line. I think there's more chance of that for a quarter, for a couple drives, which allow, I'm not going to say it's like the Niner thing where, okay, they figure it out and it clicks. I don't think it's going to get to that level. But I think there's if you can get some stops and maybe a turnover here, a strip sack or that type of thing. I mean, that's a lot to rely on. But something like that, along with, because offensively, Tampa just hasn't shown enough to say this is it. Like, okay, this is going to be the drive, because there's really not a lot of run after catch, and there's no deep ball. So that's where your big plays come from. They don't commit to the run. So we're going to play that old Patriot station to station football, 10-yard out. Like, because at some point with those blitzes, he has to make a play. So I think he's going to have to take some shots. And then I think their biggest issue is just, you hear people saying, oh, well, Arians and Brady are working together. Like, you can't operate that way, because that's why there's no feel, because it's like, okay, what offense is this? Is this the offense, the St. Jameis' offense? Are we running the Patriots? Like, you're doing what Brady feels comfortable doing, but Brady ain't calling the plays. So that's why it's just so hit or miss. Like, you don't know what you're getting, and they'll get a couple good. Basically, you're counting on a couple good drives a game, and then a defense. That's how they made it this far.
And that's all I'm saying is, yeah, I know I'm being extra a little bit, but I don't have faith that, like, again, they're not good enough to get away from it. Like, for them to win, right? Feel like what you guys said, a lot of things have to go exactly right. They can't turn the ball over at all. You have, like Justin said, you have to take advantage of what is a makeshift offensive line. If you can't take care of those two things, we out of here. Like this is done. And then thirdly, again, like you guys are saying about this offense, the fact that we don't know what your identity is, and I'm not talking about this in a good way that you can just mold to do whatever needs to be done. Tampa Bay's played a whole lot of clunky offensive games, and the defense bails them out. And this is one of those things where I love defenses more than anybody. Right? You can't ask your defense to do that against them. This is not the group. So I don't care how good your defense is. They can't do it for 4 quarters. Right. They can't. One small mess up. Like you said, like Justin said, 30-15, 30-21, 30-16. That's the right one for it. Everybody else don't got that. But yeah. They can hit somebody on a 7-yard slant on 3rd and 15. And it's a 49-yard game. So
we just saw that too. It was a 49-yard game, but he really ran 150 yards.
It was out running people when he decelerated.
Like, dude, that's just okay. So what I was going to say is maybe what we're missing now, not necessarily missing, but offensively, we don't know what Tampa's go-to is, because they don't really have an idea what their go-to is. They have just a bunch of stuff, like we talked about. They got all this stuff, and it's only one day a week that you can wear all this stuff, and you just got shit everywhere. So maybe the defense is where their go-to is. Maybe they're going to try like those turnovers like you're talking about, because that's what gets them in the end zone a lot, because they shorten the field, those turnovers. But like you said, is this the game where you can rely on the defense for all 4 quarters? Like that's asking a lot. Not saying it's impossible, because the defense has played well. And guess what? They in the big game. They get it. They understand what they're in, what they're facing. They know what this Kansas City team is. But do they have enough defensively to be able to hold these guys? I didn't say stop, but just hold them, because that's hard for anybody to do. I don't know, like what was the best defense in the NFL this year? I don't want to say Tampa Bay, because they've been good, but they weren't the best. Who had the best defense in the NFL this year, y'all think?
You can go ahead, Justin.
I'm saying, I don't know, Miami. I don't.
Yeah, I'd probably ride possibly Miami, because they're one of the only groups that can throw out 2 top-notch corners, a solid front 7.
Didn't Kansas City score 40 on? That's
say that part again.
I said Kansas City.
So ain't nobody stopping them. We know that.
I mean, he threw 3 picks, right? He threw 3 picks.
Yes, and that's this is my issue. Like, y'all not fast enough for this.
Yeah,
you're just not fast enough. Like,
yeah, well,
Like I hate to be that person, but I've seen it. Like I told y'all how fast I believe. How like I told y'all last couple years. Oh, I think my team defense is gonna be good. They're fast as a team, right? As a group, they are freaking fast. Tampa Bay, dog. Everybody don't run as fast as Devin White on that team.
No.
All right, y'all be thinking that like Devin White being out there make everybody run a 4.3. They don't. You about to find out that some of them corners or whatever, they not really running 4.4s. You're gonna find out tomorrow. You're gonna find out what that number really is. Bro, there was when Valdez Scantling is beating you for a 9, you cannot guard anyone on the Chiefs. I'm not being rude, just saying he's fast and don't know what the hell he's doing. They're all fast and know exactly what they're doing.
What the hell he doing?
They don't know what the hell he's doing. Fast as hell. It's an adventure every time the ball get thrown to him. Fast as hell. And he was getting behind them routinely, right? You was playing down there Scantling 1-on-1, right? And he was just flying down the field. That's Miko, Reek, Sammy. Then the new little one, the Pringle. They got another one, Pringle.
Right.
Whatever he is. Like, and then the other thing, like I think we were talking like a couple weeks ago going to the division round. I was like, I thought the game against the Bills, Andy was gonna go screen heavy. He did it. This week don't sound like a perfect week for it with a bad offensive line and everything else.
I can see that. And I can tell you why he didn't go screen heavy, because Kelsey had like 12, 13 catches last week, right? Or week before last, right?
Yeah.
So as I'm watching that game, they never once put a hand on him. He was releasing free. I'm like, oh, that's why he's open. He's open because ain't nobody touching him. Like, seriously. And I think that's because they're so focused on Tyreek and Hardman and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And they're not. And the funny thing is Kelsey is probably the best receiver on that team. And they didn't even put a paw on him. And he was releasing wide open each time. So Andy Reid said, oh, okay, well, we're going to just keep going to him. We don't have to run these screens. He's open every time he was open.
That's
but
all I'm saying, man.
I don't know. That's not going to be game plan this week. They may go screen heavy because of the line and the adjustments that they need to make. But either way, it's going to work because they got the speed for it.
That's what it comes down to me. And as I agree with everything y'all are saying, like Justin said, they just not fast enough. Even with that stuff in their favor, they're too slow as a defense. They are so freaking slow.
Who is fast enough, though? That's the question. There's nobody fast enough in the league.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, all right, so like, look, again, last Super Bowl, we saw somebody slow them down for 3 quarters, right? This group ain't fast as that group. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
and that group can only do it for 3 quarters.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with that. But I think the biggest issue for me, like, is I think this, with the screen thing, I don't know how much they go screen, but I think the one thing that position that matches up well is that second level. So I think where the issues are going to come is, like you were saying, is, okay, we play close, they're running by you. So now, how do we put pressure on them when we got to play off because we're scared of Tyreek? So now we're giving him these easy throws, which is Kelsey and Hill on quick stop routes, and now you got to tackle these guys. But I think that's where the issue comes: is can you make them have to like try to stay patient? That battle, because you're gonna make Mahomes battle himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give him an umbrella, make him throw it underneath, and how will he take 8 yards? Because sometimes he doesn't. You know what I mean? And you throw that in along with some. Maybe try to confuse him a little bit, but. And again, that's what it is, the umbrella of having that offensive line have to keep blocking for 15 plays in a drive. If anything else, it doesn't matter. Like anything else, we'll be shutting it off at halftime. So I think that's their only chance defensive. And again, that's sad we're saying that because we have more faith in the defense. We're putting it on that defense and hoping that Brady can struggle his way to 28-30 because it's still going to take 30.
35.
Might take 40, might take 40s. And that's with stops. So.
And again, like Justin said, even with trying to put them, like trying to keep the top down and keep everything in front of you, they good enough tackling in space. Because like all that sounds well and good until you got the
You got to do it.
like that's just part of it. Like we've seen people try to put the brackets and it's cute. Then the little bastard gets the ball and then what? 3 moves later, he throws up. You know, it's tough, man.
He's fast.
I guess that's my thing. Like I said, it just feels like too much Tampa Bay just has to do so much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's one day. So like the thing about one day is saying is
it is.
I'd rather be there that one day with, like Rob was saying, is you're trying to pick up a female. You have all that stuff that Rob said. You ain't wore it right once. You ain't put it on right once. You just hope but you have it all. Maybe it clicks today. Like, man, you know what? Come back to Evans. Oh, this to him. Oh, Godwin Evans, Grant, handoff. Like maybe it's just all like that moment where with the shrug, every shot's going in. He's like, man, it's because it's there. It's not like you're walking in there with what the Patriots had on offensively this year. You have the pieces. You just haven't put it in. Offensive line is not bad. Like maybe today, this is it. That day that just, I don't know how. I mean, hard to put confidence in that, but they do have pieces. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no, they definitely do. It's just like I said, I just have no confidence that they know how to utilize those things correctly. They do, because I like on paper, you're going in against them with probably the best offensive line you could probably have to go deal with them folks, right? Yeah. But then again, to kind of knock that down is you don't go vertical that much. So even with the extra time, you know what I'm saying? It's like every good thing you want to find, like you almost ruin it yourself.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess that's where I'm stuck at is like you said, I want to go, man, look, that's outstanding offensive line. Boom, that should buy you time against Chris Jones, Frank Clark, and company. Then I'm like, cool, what you going to do with them extra 5 seconds? Oh, y'all just like doing stuff in the middle of the field. Honey Badger's sitting up underneath there looking at you. Right. That's what you're going to do with your extra 5 seconds. Okay. All right. So what's the point of having a line? So like we're saying with the Chiefs is the line's not good. They don't have the regular line. And again, in theory, Tampa Bay, you should be killing that line. But again, let me just throw this out. If your coverage don't hold up long enough for y'all to take advantage of that bad line, it's a moot point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
how many linemen are out? How many starting linemen are out for Kansas City?
I think 5. I think 4 or 5.
Where's the starting line is out? Okay. So the point of attack has to be there. Like you gotta go and get the pressure on the line. Like I don't think you could blitz very much because you don't want to take a chance of Mahomes killing you on the back end. Your front four has to put in heavy work. They gotta
be like the Giants when they beat they gotta be like that level. Yeah.
Remember that NASCAR line, no Wilson, we used to talk about all the time. and that one of the members, JPP.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the other 3 with him. That's my issue.
And that's the problem. Right?
Okay, so like, look, that's my issue, right? In the playoffs, their sack leaders are corners.
Yeah.
This is what bothers me. Like, again, like, because to deal with them, they got 5 new linemen, right? But it's not even like your front 4 just eat by themselves. Like, they got to have assistance. And that bothers me. Because if you sending Antoine Winfield up, you leaving one of them corners by themselves. I'm supposed to trust them?
How about these guys?
That's what I'm supposed to do. So when your best cover safety come running up at me, I'm supposed to leave Carlton Davis is going to stay in front of one of them track stars? Nah, dog, I saw a week whatever. That was bad. That was very, very bad. That was very bad.
Okay, so maybe the game's going to suck tomorrow. It's going to be a blowout.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm not saying that, but like I'm just trying to share why I'm so good about it. Like I want to be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be bro. Tell me how.
It's gonna be tough because it's Kansas City. It's like we have not seen a formula to stop them the last 3 years. We haven't seen that formula. They stop themselves. That's the only way that they really lose games is they have made mistakes on their end where they cannot come back from. And some teams are smart enough to go, ooh, we gotta take advantage right now.
yeah, but you know what though, and I could say for myself, maybe I'm ignorant, but in last year's game, there was a point where I'm like, they can't score.
Yep.
Like there was points in last year's game until that third and like after the interception, I was like, they got him. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't thinking that 4th and 15. I mean, there's a touchdown at any point, but that 3rd and 15 or whatever that was, that big play, like
it's 3rd and 15.
I was surprised. I mean, I knew it was in them. They had it in them, but it felt like they had him. Like it felt like they got in his head a little bit and they were struggling and questioning themselves. So I mean, besides the way, even like when as well as the Patriots would play them, you knew it was coming. But I felt like they were under. That was the only time. That's probably the only time in the last three years, where I felt like someone had them stopped.
And I guess Justin, I guess that's why I feel the way I do. Is that the way that group was able to do it? I don't see none of those things in this group. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you got to bring extra pressure. They just sent 4.
But the no line might make that front 4. I mean, because it's not Shaq Barrett's not is a solid play, is a good player.
Not for sure. But
so I mean, when you say, okay, San Francisco's line is beating up Kansas City's starting offensive line, and now you're saying Tampa Bay's mid to top half defensive line playing against street free agents.
They
gotta dominate. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not saying what that means.
They should.
So which means now you should be able to cover with 7.
They should.
And get pressure, which is the equivalent of a blitz.
So then
Then
it comes down to coaching adjustments. At that point, it comes down to coaching adjustments because it's like, all right, look, we know we're weak here. We know defensively they're strong. So we got to make this work in our favor, not in theirs. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Kansas City, this is why they're back for the second time in 2 years back in the Super Bowls, because they have made the proper adjustments throughout both seasons and the playoffs to continue to win games. They're not just beating teams just to be beating them. That sometimes they have to make adjustments in game because of mistakes being made or injuries, whatever the case may be. This is why they're up here and everybody else is down here. It's not just because they got Hill and Kelsey and those guys, because Andy Reid, EB, and that whole coaching staff, they've made the proper adjustments. So what adjustments are they going to make against this defense with this bad offensive line? They know that they probably going to key in on the offensive line. So now we got to make it to where we're not putting them in the spotlight. And that's probably through those screens, like you were saying, the screen game and things like that, to kind of move the ball around. So
a lot of jet stuff.
You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of speed stuff, and that's where the problems come into play. So I get Wilson, honestly. I really understand what you said.
Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to rain on everybody's parade with
no, not at all.
I'm simply saying when Tyreek come around in that motion,
eat your wings in the pregame. He said,
"Get them wings." That's what I'm saying.
Some wings early.
Hey, don't save the food for the third. That's all I'm saying. You might want to be able to, you know what I'm saying, like siesta during halftime, just in case. You might take a longer rest, like
put the mittens on for the shovel so you can shovel at halftime.
Because so what you said, Rob and Justin, that's the thing that scares me, right? Like you said, they lost offensive linemen, but like they went into this whole week knowing that they don't have those dudes, right?
Yeah.
And they've shown this coaching staff what I'm not about to do is be like, they're going to be ill prepared with their 5 regular linemen.
Yeah.
Bruh, no. We about to see some extra wild stuff. No. And then Tampa Bay defense, bless your little hearts, you're not that fast and y'all are not disciplined. I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
I think that's the difference between the reason San Fran was able to stop him was, besides the one play, was the discipline. More because San Fran don't play man. So, I mean, they knew what looks they were getting defensively. Yeah. It was the fact of they had made them play underneath, and then the linebackers were that good and the passers was that good. But San Fran's giving them one look, pretty much. You're playing a certain defense, and there's more chance of a Tampa Bay guy coming out of his zone and giving up that play. He breaks the pocket, and somebody does something they shouldn't do. I think that's more of an issue than anything. That's the fear for them.
And thank you. Like that's all I'm saying. Like, you guys are bringing up all the reasons why I'm just like 50 or whatever, because it scares me. Okay. It's going to be hard for me to be like, this is also the same Tampa Bay defense, right? Against Green Bay, where Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams still did Devontae Adams stuff. It's not like Green Bay ain't moved the ball or nothing, anything like that. Like, they just messed the money up. It's not like they shut out Aaron Rodgers or some wild stuff like that. So,
Right.
Like Justin said, man, I don't trust. I like their defense. I think it's cute.
This ain't a good matchup, man. Yeah.
You said what?
So like you said, it's more like it's a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, like
Green Bay's a better matchup because they got one receiver.
Why?
Yeah, and like Tampa Bay defense.
Why gotta be cute though?
Because it's like
condescending. See, this is what's gonna have people commenting on us and not
that's fine. Okay, so like, look, it's cute because it's like because they're the type where it's like, ooh, I see it, I'm gonna go run. There's no thinking in it. It's just ooh, right. You can't do that against them.
No, you can't. You can't.
And that's what bothers me. They one of them, somebody gonna take one of them ghost motions and take it for serious and give up 80. When they coach told them for 7 days.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you say when they get back to the sideline? You just shake your head like, I try to tell you.
No, I'm not even commenting. Like I told you already. That's what you go tell Bruce why they just happened. I just don't trust it. Man. And like what was weird to me again against Green Bay, Devontae moving into the slot. Why was he still allowed to be effective? Who else does he play with? Again, not to be too rude to Green Bay folks, but I'm comparing the not Devontaes to the Kansas City folks. So do with that what you will. The fact that he was still effective bothers the living you know what out of me.
Right. And
that's quote unquote in the middle of the field where your 2 all-star linebackers are. Right? Y'all in trouble, dog. Y'all in trouble. If you don't get no pressure, this spot 50. I say what I said. But
pressure is key. That's that. Lean on that.
That means nobody falling for a pump fake. That means nobody falling for a motion, a shift, which is what does Kansas City do better than almost anybody else in the league? Give you so much eye candy. I felt bad for both defenses last year in the Super Bowl because they sat there for 12 seconds every play watching something happen that could or could not mean something.
Right. Guys going in, motion, reset and everything. And it's just like, all right, wait, he didn't even move though.
You know what I'm saying? And again, this is just me taking a wild guess. I guarantee you, Andy Reid and EB is looking at them linebackers like, bro, we about to go after y'all.
Probably.
It's not just the dudes on the outside, they about to come after y'all. Because as soon as they get them out of space, it's a wrap.
Right.
You just got to slide over just a little bit. Like Justin was talking about, the not being disciplined part. Yeah. That's what worries me. And that's why I said it's cute, because there's still children in that defense. Like, there's no adults back there for real. Like, like Sue, I trust. Like, that's the one dude, as crazy as that sounds. That's the one dude up over there I trust.
That sounds very crazy.
Right?
I get it. Yeah.
But I feel comfortable with him because he's seen enough. He can adapt on the fly and all those types of things. And then this is the other thing with Kansas City. You have to factor in some stretch of the game where Chris Jones does Chris Jones things.
Yeah.
These are death taxes, and Chris Jones about to take over for a little bit. So I don't care who your line is. He's going to have an effect somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I hope you guys are right. I would love to be wrong, and it's a Super Bowl for the ages. I ain't buying none of that crap, man. It's dog walk.
Well, I don't know about Super Bowl for the ages. I think they are pumping this game up a little bit more than they should. I just think it's going to be a little bit more competitive than what most people are thinking. But at the same time, it can go left real fast if you're not careful, man. And you can't make mistakes against Kansas City. And that's the biggest thing right there, like you said.
They can make mistakes, and it's fine. That's my thing. Like, they can make mistakes. And maybe what's hurting me is I watch somebody look super old and dumb in the second half of an NFC championship game. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make me feel comfortable. And that's against a defense they don't even like pressure.
Yeah.
Spags is over there like, what's good, bro? Ain't see you in a little while, Tom. Remember me? wasn't Spags on the Giants?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seriously, folks?
Yeah.
Seriously, folks? Seriously. Spags been over there with his feet up all week. Like, bro, I got some new toys. We ain't had no corners then.
Man.
man just dialing up stuff. Like, because again, if it was me, maybe y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm him, sending pressure, I'm taking away the middle. Beat me over the top, brother. Beat me over the top. Not only beat me over, I'm gonna treat him just like James. Beat me over the top and outside the hashes.
Yeah.
Hey, they did that before, right? Yeah, they did. Crazy.
Seen this movie.
Seen it. I'm sorry, folks. And I don't have. Look, man, I don't know. Y'all go ahead and talk. I ain't got nothing else nice to say. Everybody call me the biggest hater in the world, and I don't even got nothing against them. I don't like the matchup.
No, and it's reasonable. It's reasonable not to like the matchup because of what we've seen all season. And guess what? The proof is in the pudding. And what we've seen all season is a team that's going out there just playing ball. They guess that's ultimately what they're doing, offensively at least. Because it's like, I don't know what your game plan is, but hey, at least you made it to the Super Bowl. You probably should come up with a plan because the team you're playing against now, that's not going to work. You can't just wing it. You can't just say, all right, you run the button hook, you run the deep ball, and you just stand there and look pretty. I'm going to figure it out. It's like, it ain't going to work. You got to have a better game plan than that. And I think the run game is actually going to be key for them too, man. Like you said, they got to figure out what they're going to do between Fournette and Jones. They got to figure it out. Like who's the go-to guy in this game?
For me, it's Jones, and I don't think they're going to give him the ball.
I don't think they are either.
Because like you're not about to threaten him. Like I love Lenny. I'm glad of what he did this year. It's been fun, and that's my thing, man. I don't think how they go about their business. It's not enough stuff to threaten Kansas City to take them from being uber aggressive. We send in the crib, and I feel like to deal with them defensively, you have to be able to present them. You have to put enough doubt in their mind where they're like, all right, we gotta save that blitz. Let's fall back. And I feel like you guys said, Tampa Bay they have the personnel to do it, but they just don't.
Right. Can you make them pay like the rate? I mean, as much
like the Raiders,
we don't like
when
the Raiders had Ruggs and Aguilar, were
and
able
Waller,
to slow them down a little bit because they went over the top a few times.
Yep.
I think I saw something that showed like on each of the Raiders' drives where they scored when they beat them had a play of over 40 yards. I think Ruggs had a 72-yard touchdown. Then they had a 49-yard play. Like something at some point that slows them blitzes down. Maybe later in the fourth quarter. Now he's not so quick to just send stuff. So I think
this is what
they haven't shown that.
What Justin said. This is it. I don't have faith that Tampa Bay have enough explosives to bother Kansas City's defense, to alter Spags from doing what he likes to do, which is we gonna man up, got this single high, and we're gonna torment the things that you like to do in the middle of the field. That's it. And again, no disrespect to Green Bay corners or whatever. Kansas City corners, they not punks. They want all that smoke outside. They enjoy it. They love it. They fun. Ain't none of them like, oh my gosh, it's Mike Evans. They're like, hey, let's go. Like that. Like I said, I just don't like the matchup, man. That's where I'm at. I just don't like it for a myriad of reasons that starts and ends with Tampa Bay.
We don't either. We basically saying like hope is like the plan the plan. It's terrible. It's terrible because you're basically saying like
I appreciate
the theory. Like it's basically like the champ versus like a fairy tale. Like you're really just saying, well, because it's time, it's gonna work out.
And that's
really,
and that's what my issue is, because like that's where I feel like people are going. Because again, the things we've talked about, I've presented or whatever, and it's like, yeah, those make sense. Not once did y'all been like, nah, Wilson, you tripping? That doesn't make sense. Come up with that. That's true. That's a good point. Right. That's also true.
It's a talented roster, though. That's what's weird. Is it's really like if you really look at the roster. I mean, it's young, and again, against another team, you would look at that defense and you could say, man, they're gonna get after them. But this isn't the team where getting after it is a like, you know what I mean? Like the guys that they struggle with is the guy that's like Sherm, like who's thinking. They need the thinking point. Like the guys you can't solve, like you say, you can't solve problems with aggression.
Yeah.
When you got all those young people they have in the back, it works perfectly. Man, you see Winfield just ran down and stripped the ball. When you run down and strip the ball and he don't have it, somebody's running by you. Like that's the difference in this game where the players, the if you look at the guys who Mahomes has thrown picks to, you'd be shocked at names. You know what I mean? Some of the most unathletic people because they're where they're supposed to be at all times. And I think that's the problem. I mean, the issue. That's what makes that matchup so odd is you can't say, you know what, we're gonna go man and blitz like that's not the solution here. The solution is patience. Can your defense stay patient while you're trying to force him to stay patient?
And that's the biggest thing is not only can they stay patient, but that eye discipline gonna be crazy, man. You like Justin said, he has that inner battle between himself every snap. But if you want to know where you get in trouble, is when you out here deciding for him by your aggression because you're stupid that we're gonna go be aggressive, and he's like, "Hey, I don't got to battle my demon." Like it disappears. It's like, "Ooh, open,
right.
back up." When you sit, he's like.
There's too much time to think. I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't want to throw this check down.
Hey, look, he looked at the check down 17 times. It was like, bro, I don't want to throw to you.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that he don't have to set his feet is like if the teams have had some success. I remember Patriots with Russ too, but he can make the throw in between 11. Like he can make a 35-yard throw on a line. That's what makes him so tough. Is like you can't trick him into making a throw. He'll hold the ball. Like if he don't know what if he doesn't know what he's saying, he'll just hold it. You know what I mean? And most guys don't. You know, that's what's puts him on another level of separates him from the other guys who may physically be on his level or mentally above. Like he's just fearless of he'll stand there and like you know normally you blitz. Okay, when I'm blitzing, he's gonna throw hot here. He won't. he'll just backpedal, sidestep. And then still throw a 30-yard pass into coverage.
It's hot different. It's hot ain't the hot you looking at. You looking at normal people hot.
Right.
It's hot is, hey, they sending pressure. Reek, where you at?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I know you about to be open in about 2.5 seconds.
I just got to backpedal 15 yards. I just got to keep backing up.
Hey, look, it's cool, man. It's just a 65-yard throw. I got you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Arm only no legs. Arms.
So that's the thing. Like I said, like for all the reasons you guys mentioned, like they would have to play like literally a perfect game to get this done. And I'm not talking about Kansas City. This is just being honest. Kansas City doesn't ever have to play perfect. That's just they're like again, like you guys continue to make the Warriors things. Like the Warriors could play bad for 3.8 quarters. And in the last 2 minutes, 20-2.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. This is just what it is.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the football equivalent of you can do everything right. And again, with Tampa Bay, I just don't trust y'all to do everything right to get to that place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Because if you out here tricking the ball away against Green Bay, you out here throwing jump balls to Adrian Amos. There's one cover guy. There's no linebackers in Green Bay. And it's difficult for you.
Yeah.
With that offensive line, and you had time. And secondly, hold on. With that offensive line, Green Bay was able to blitz you. Do you understand what Spags is about to send your way?
It's hope.
Hey, look, I don't got time.
All this is predicated on hope because
I just don't got time for that.
Like you said, there's so much talent. I think Justin said there's so much talent on that roster. If you look at that roster on paper, the Tampa Bay roster on paper, and then you look at the Kansas City roster on paper, and you go, this is actually a pretty good matchup offensively. But then we know from what we've seen how they operate. So you go, but it really isn't because they don't know what they're doing with everything that they have on paper. They have it. They just don't know what to do.
Right. But you know what? Yeah. I would challenge you with this. I would flip it the other way around because Kansas City defense is often maligned and insulted for all different types of reasons. I don't think it's nearly that bad. I'm gonna be real honest. I would happily take Tampa Bay's secondary. I mean, the Kansas City secondary over Tampa Bay's. Yeah. But how people are talking like I like Winfield. I like Jamal Dean. That might be where it ends for me on that back end. I don't trust the other dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and with Kansas City, they don't got flat outside of Honey Badger. I'm not talking about you two, but for the most part, people are like, oh man, Honey Badger over there.
There's more than that.
No,
it's like y'all know it's more people.
No, I'm not talking about y'all two. I'm just saying,
I know.
Like So, like, perfect example, right? We talk about young Antoine Winfield, and he deserves love. Bro, how the hell are we going into this game? And I don't hear Juan Thornhill's name not nearly enough.
Or even the kid Sneed, Legarian Sneed.
Yeah.
He been blocking people. Playing real well.
Yeah. So you got Sneed, Breland, Ward. Those are 3 good corners, but all we're talking about is, well, Tampa Bay should be fine because they got Davis. If you can find a way to go name Carlton Davis, go find you a way to name Ladarius Sneed. And it's the other thing. I'm more impressed by the fact that they can man up in a time where the rules don't even let you really do it like that. And Kansas City does it pretty well. And then we again throwing in the fact that your offense don't like going downfield anyways. Like,
so I think that defense gets the slight that they get because of the offense, honestly. Because everybody's looking at the offense, Pat Mahomes, Tariq Hill, Kelsey, they're looking at the offense going, man, defense don't even matter. But also, you also got to remember that the NFL has changed so much. Everybody's scoring. Everybody's scoring because the rules have changed. So when you look at defenses and you look in, the average person is looking at the stats. They're not watching the game. They're not watching these guys play and the things that they're doing, the adjustments, all that stuff. They're not watching all that. And so when you're looking at the stats, you're looking at Kansas City, you're going, I mean, they're all right. But it's like, nah, they're actually a little bit better than all right. Not only that, but come playoff time, when this is where teams that know how to win, they know when to turn it on. Like, all right, regular season's over with. Brand new season right here. Time for us to play this game a little different now. You know what I mean? And they got after Josh Allen that last game. Josh Allen didn't look like anything he did earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. That regular season stuff was fun. Like Wilson said, it was cute. It was cute. But guess what? That's not happening here. Like, that's dead. We're going to make you play a completely different game. And they had them frustrated. Yeah, they scored their points and everything because they were going to score. That's how the NFL is. They want points on the board. So they're going to score. But I never felt like they were in the game. Even when they were up 9-0, I didn't feel like they were in the game, which is crazy.
They were up 9-0, and I'm like, that's not enough, stupid.
That's not enough. You missed the extra point, and then you kick the field goal. Like, dude, you're not trying to win this game.
Right. Right. The touchdown was a gift.
That was a gift.
Yeah.
And the crazy part, and this is what I'm saying about like Kansas City defense, and give a credit. You know, we're sitting here almost all in agreement, like they're allowed to make mistakes because of their defense. They can make mistakes. Their defense have got to be perfect. But if you notice, when they make mistakes, their defense seldom gives up 7 after the offense tricks something away. They'll give up 3, or they'll turn it over. There's no credit for that. But again, we are literally sitting here talking about a team 2 years in a row. This is their second Super Bowl run where they're afforded the luxury of turning the ball over 3 times and winning by double digits. Why are you able to do that if you only have one side of the ball? Why are you able to do that?
Right. Not fair.
Like you guys said, like it's just about situational. Like Tampa Bay plays, Kansas City plays good situational defense. They can be bad for a lot of times, but when they need a stop, how many times do we not see them get a stop they need?
Yeah.
They know how to get off the field.
Yeah. But you know, like you said earlier, is there's always going to be that drive. They have the players to say, Chris Jones could take a drive over and get you off the field. Even Frank Clark to a degree. Matthews going to make a play. Like that's pretty much they're not planning on stopping you every drive. Whether or you might get into field goal position where you're at that 30-40 yard line, and now Jones breaks through and makes a play and pushes you out of field goal range, or just that's basically that's happening. Whereas with Tampa, you need someone to, whether it's JPP, whether it's one of the interior D linemen, whether it's Barrett, whether it's a linebacker, you need somebody to make those plays to just get them off the field. However it is, 3 straight plays, he makes stops, and that's it. Now we got the ball back. Like Kansas City has a way to do that, and Tampa Bay has to do the same. Or otherwise, like you said, you can't match the 2 things because they're not playing the same game.
No, and that's thank you for. I guess that's the best way. Maybe if I came over and said that to begin with, thank you, Justin. I should just let you lead to begin with. Like my representation would like to speak on my behalf. So to sum everything up, they're not playing the same game. This is why I'm not interested, not worried, and don't care about it. They're not playing the same game. Yeah. At their best, they don't play the same game.
Right.
Just don't. Not even a little bit. Like you gotta speak the language of explosives. Tampa Bay defense don't really. Tampa Bay offense don't really speak that. Because even like they'll have drives where they get an explosive, and that was the drive. Even after 5 plays after the explosive, all we remember was said explosive.
Right. Yeah.
Tampa Bay, when Kansas City getting explosive, 7,
Right.
7, 6.
Right. Well, you know what's even the explosive, like you said, it don't feel explosive. Like the play, like Rob was saying, reading Godwin's stats off. One of those catches was like a 50-yard pass that he bobbled 6 times. That should have been like that's the 60-yard play. So I mean, when Kansas City, it's usually someone running to the end zone with 40 people behind. I mean, with guys 20, 30 yards behind them, and you feel deflated when you gave up the play. Whereas when Tampa makes a big play, you're going back to silent like, oh, we almost had. I should have had that. Like you never feel like you watch guys against Kansas City and defense looks deflated. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this guy. Like, you don't feel that way when Mike Evans catches deep ball or when, whatever's Godwin or any guys make the big plays. It's work. That's the problem is you're working for every yard. This team has to work. I mean, I don't know. There aren't many teams in this league right now who don't have to work, but unfortunately, they're playing the one that.
I'm about to say the one team in the league that does not have to work is who they're playing against. Right. In Kansas City. So. Everybody else, it doesn't come to them as easily.
Right. I tried to think of one. I can't think.
And that's
quick two play 80-yard touchdown drive. Like who?
And I guess that's what worries me is the ball skills at the back end of Kansas City too. Like they're also the situational awareness is good. They're also opportunistic as hell. You know what I'm saying? As a group, like
they just practice blitzes and interception drill.
I mean. Has it failed them yet?
No, it's worked.
Because like the first thing I thought of, I didn't mean to cut you off. I forgot my mic was on when you talked about the Chris Godwin play. I'm like, bro, against Kansas City, that's we going that way.
That's a
yeah.
You think you got
several times, yeah.
You think you got another tip of that?
Let me get that from you.
That's Thornhill and Honey Badger, who wasn't there to play to begin with, fighting. They already pushed you out, fighting over the tip ball, that's what bothers me is even though explosives, like I'm trying to figure out like Mike Evans going down the field against Green Bay or whatever. Are you gonna be able to get that step this game? Or when you do it, is the ball gonna be able to get quick enough that one of them freaky safeties don't get there? Where it goes from 1-on-1 to we got a numbers advantage.
Yeah. Well that's where Ronald Jones and Antonio Brown and Scotty, maybe, like, you know what I mean? I think someone. That's why I'm saying Ronald Jones is, to me, the only one I could really think of that has that ability. The coach don't like him for whatever reason, but he's the only one that has shown that ability to give you a 50-yard play or a long run type thing.
They just don't speak the same language. Tampa Bay out here putting drives together and all that stuff from the 90s, and City out here like touchdown.
Right.
Yeah.
Touchdown again. They like Kansas City has several versions of explosives. You know what I'm saying? You got the almost had that one. The one more move. This is over. Then they got the thanks for playing.
That's what is the most deflating to every team. You got like, man, I almost had him on that one. So they do it again. You go, hey man, how fast is he? What's his 40 again? I thought y'all said 4.5. You said 4.5.
That's when the corner starts talking with the safety. Like you said you had me over the top. Like you said, we had the scene.
You said we.
So how did he leave us?
That's how you start fights on the sideline too. Like when you see them fight with each other, like they thought they had me, but somebody messed up.
Like I guess, like all that to be said, like I'm interested to see what Byron Leftwich comes out with in terms of how to call this game.
Yeah.
Because you can't play keep away from them. Like bro, whether you like it or not, they dictate the terms of the fight because of their offense. Whether you like it or not, I've seen far too many teams try to go in there. Oh no, we're gonna play differently. Nah, bro, you better.
But you can't have a slugfest either.
No, you can't. You can't. But my whole thing is,
won't win that.
it's almost you have more of a chance of sustaining it and being able to speak explosives with them versus the putting drives together. Because there's so many things where you put drives together, but you get 3. I'd rather have the freaking explosive, dog. Like, give me the way the Raiders went. I'd rather have.
But you know what? The thing was, the Raiders were still had Jacobs, so they were able to.
Well, see, but that's
like you said, a 40, then first down. Like, I know what you're saying, though. You got to finish the drives.
Yep.
Also, because otherwise, you just waste. Let them get fresh. 5 minutes.
Though that's what made the Raiders uniquely able to do that is they could play both ways. But they had enough dudes, like firepower wise, to speak explosives, and like you said, and then hand off to Jacobs, which is still almost an explosive to a degree, because
right.
Jacobs can go, he can crib you if you know what I'm saying, if needed to.
Right.
So you had Ruggs, Waller, Aguilar, like you had enough stuff where Spags couldn't just send a crib, and then you still had to account for I don't want to speak wrong of Josh Jacobs, but a top tier running back to deal with, you know what I'm saying, in the box too. You got to deal with that, where he can hurt you on all three, a 3-down back. So you had a lot to do with. And again, going back to, I don't want to keep saying this. Are they going to give Ronald Jones 25 carries to get this thing done when he has 23 carries on the postseason?
They holding out on hope that Fournette is going to be the Fournette that was in Jacksonville, unfortunately.
Not in LSU. Yeah,
LSU, matter of fact, right.
Even then, like,
and even then, that's a lot to ask for somebody to do in this. Look, man,
because
their game plan is going to be very, very pivotal to this particular game here. We don't know what game plans they were leaning on in the past. But this is it. This is the last game of the season. This ain't nothing else going on after this. What are y'all going out to?
Depending on who you ask.
Right. What are you going to do to win this game? You have one matchup. This is your last chance. This is it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this team's going to be together again next year. At least not the same team. Maybe not. You know what I mean? But you have everything. You got everything you need offensively. You have enough defensively to stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? So what are you going to do game plan wise is going to come out and say and make Kansas City go, ooh, wasn't expecting that.
Nothing.
There you go.
Like again, not to be rude. Like I'm not trying to there's nothing they can do physically that's going to threaten them, and that's why I'm unbothered by them. Like I'm just so unbothered.
Right. But you know what Rob just said, like that's what I think I was trying to say earlier, is that it's not so much that the defense is good or bad. It's what everyone's defense is, maybe a little better. So when it's coming down, it's gonna come down to that offense. So defensively, they're gonna give you what every defense gives you. Maybe a little better, maybe a little worse. So it's really coming down to, like Rob said, is what's that offense gonna do? Because Kansas City's going to do what Kansas City does, and that defense is going to hold up. Going to give up some big ones, going to get a stop occasionally, hopefully, and maybe they'll get a turnover. That's the only difference. But other than that, if you're not putting up 30, it don't matter anyway. 30 plus. So it's coming down to what they do offensively more than anything. And I think that's what we were trying to get at earlier. Not that this defense is going to be old Ravens or anything, but that they're just going to be league average, maybe are slightly better.
Byron, man. Like if you playing by 3, it's irrelevant. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't.
It literally doesn't matter.
Gotta get in the end zone.
If you have 5 drives and you get 3 points off them, they got 5 drives and they get 7 points off them. I'm not great at math. Is this close? It is not. This is what we're talking about. It just doesn't matter. Like I just don't care. And the fact that I can't wrap my head around how Tampa Bay can possibly threaten Kansas City's defense has me that's why I feel how I feel. I just don't care what your defense does. I don't care if Pat threw 3 picks, I could care less, because if you get 15 points off them, you lost.
Yeah, if he threw 3 picks, you getting 15 points is over with. And guess what? They're not worried about you either. They on the sideline eating popcorn. They get another 3. Y'all ready?
That's them on the sideline. Hey, bro, they thought they was going to beat us by 3s.
Right.
Every time the kicker come out. Did you see their sideline against Buffalo when Buffalo brought their kicker out? It was like, oh, bro, they done.
Yeah.
Buffalo
You almost anything under fourth and almost anything under 4th and 4.
got
4th
go
and 4 and under. It feels like if you're not on your side of the 20 or 40, you gotta go for it.
And that's the thing. You're going to play to their terms, so it's just a matter of like, are you going to fight it or accept it? That's it. And people keep and like again, not so much y'all. People like, oh well, they do this, man. I don't care what they do. They ain't got nothing to do with this. They play differently. It's irrelevant. Y'all play. It's a nice 12-play drive there. Yeah, Jim, we got 3 points. They're like 12 plays. That could be 4 different drives for 7 for them.
Right.
Y'all don't play the same game, dog. And I feel bad because I think it's dude's been outstanding. You know what I'm saying? And they build it up. I wish they didn't build it up this bad because if it goes south, how I think it might go south, there's gonna be a whole lot of pleas being copped for no reason because they went to building up something like they didn't need to build up. There's an underdog in this matchup. It's not the one y'all think it is. So y'all just chill, go into this, and let it go. There's a juggernaut and there's a challenger. That's it. Just, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you got a puncher's chance. I mean, it got to be a really disciplined punch at the exact right time. Repeated 7 to 12 more times, but you got a chance. I don't know if you're going to be able to if you don't land it flush, it doesn't matter. It just don't matter. We talk about everything's irrelevant. What's it called? When my man Thor hit Thanos and he was like, should have went for the head. It's that irrelevant.
I was just watching that last night too.
And look, man almost killed himself. Let a star hit him. Went to go build a new magical weapon and some more stuff.
Right.
Didn't land flush.
You land the right punch. You land a punch, but not the right punch.
It was a devastating blow. But
right.
My man was like, "You all lost." So yeah, Tampa Bay taking. You're gonna have to you just gotta embrace what you're going into, man. This ain't. I don't care what you did prior to this. You're gonna have to figure it out, and it's gonna have to be you winning outside, throwing downfield on the perimeter.
Yeah.
That's just what it's gonna be. If you guys don't want to embrace that, hey, like I said, man, I told you my number, Tampa Bay. It is what it is. You guys got anything else for it?
No, man, that's it. I don't have anything else.
What they put up last year?
I'm just hoping. Last year they put up 31. Y'all only had it was 31-20, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the last one was a cheap one.
I don't even care. But my point is, they put up 30 with 3 quarters and nothing.
Right.
Well, we know they score in spurts. Like it don't take long for them to put the points in.
And that's my point. Folks did almost everything right last year. Did not land that joint. And I'm looking at the challenge of this year. You ain't got some of the requisite weapons to threaten them in the same fashion. And I'm like, because of how you use your weapons, because again, I know everybody's gonna Tampa Bay because they throw the ball, technically the right way, but San Fran came in and they got explosives how they got explosives. I don't care how you get them, you gotta have them. Yeah. They spoke enough of the same language to get the requisite explosives to get ahead and threaten them correctly. The fact is, right now with Tampa Bay and all their wonderful little toys they got to throw here and there, it's like 12-yard passes, bro. You're not threatening them like that. Got to get explosives.
Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe they've been playing possum all year and and they pull it out on Sunday. Like, all right, y'all ready? I found the perfect outfit.
Yeah.
Finally, after all these weeks, fresh J's on, nice hoodie joint.
It's gonna be hard pressed for me to have faith in an offense to turn the ball over 3 times against Green Bay's defense. The Green Bay's defense been in competitive games with Nicholas Mullins. I cannot in good faith feel fine with this.
That was coming back around.
It's not my fault. I'm just saying. This is why it's hard pressed for me to. If he can get explosives when you can't.
Yeah. I get it. Like I said, man, I understand. I guess we're all just hoping for.
I mean, we know why you hoping like that. We see what's on your shirt. We get it.
It's the last game of the season. After this football's over until August again, and then now we back in the NBA bubble, and we don't know how that's gonna work out. And, so we hoping for the last hurrah to be a good one.
No. Let's just have a good offseason. Let's just get there. Right?
That's selfish. That is selfish because we know why you want a good offseason because you want James out the door and you want Deshaun in the pocket.
Sir, I just want an opportunity to see what ends up happening. And I would like to sim past this. I hope it's not a waste of time. But if it ends up being a waste of time, I am going to be heated.
Who wrote that for you? Sir, I am just waiting for the opportunity to knock it off. We know
to see what comes next. And we know why you're out here talking about all this hope because you got Michigan on your shirt, bro. Let it go. That's why you came out here with all this hope stuff today.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm already waiting for next season for football for these fools. I need this last game right now. After this football over for a while.
So you're gonna say something
next week? Like,
yeah, pretty much next week. That's gonna be me. So the combine, we almost here. Free agency open. That's me. That's who's losing what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, like I said, man. Hopefully we have a great game. If we don't have a great game and it goes south, just remember I told you first.
That wasn't it. That's what it was.
That's how I felt last week when I saw who was going to be. I'm not going to say that, but yeah,
right. Don't even start.
That's
a whole nother hour.
Everybody enjoys the Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully, in the analogy that everybody kept bringing up today, that Tampa Bay finds its correct fit for tomorrow. Hope they don't spill anything on it. If they do find it fit, don't step in any puddles or whatnot. Hopefully they close the deal and get this done. But yeah, man, like I said, you guys, I like you guys. I hope it's for a good game, man. But I'm old enough to remember when people did this before for things and
it worked out so well, man.
I was young enough, started getting school clothes out early the next day. Super Bowl.
All right, guess this one's over.
What are we going to talk about in school? Because this was about a half full of fun.
All right.
You guys have a good Sunday. We'll talk to you guys very soon.